A deadly earthquake has killed at least 118 and injured more than 220 in northwest China. Also in this edition of Kantipur News, we have updates about ongoing investigation into gold smuggling cases, Israel's aggression in Gaza and the FIFA Club World Cup. Good morning, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Expansion of Narayangarh-Butwal road section incomplete even in 5 years. Slow progress in Muglin-Pokhara. Passengers and local residents bearing the brunt. Commission formed to investigate the gold smuggling case records statements with 31 individuals, conducts field visit of major customs points bordering with India and China. At least 118 killed and more than 220 injured following an earthquake last night in northwest China. Chinese President Xi Jinping orders full rescue efforts. And two matches slated for today at the Nepal Super League. Sporting Ilam take on Lalitpur City in the first match at 1 p.m. Butwal Lumini face Pokhara Thunders in 5 p.m. kickoff. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal has given a directive to complete the ongoing construction works of the Narayangarh, Butwal and Muglin-Pokhara road sections on time, saying that their works have not been efficient. By virtually observing the constructions of the two road sections from the action room at the office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers yesterday, Premier Dahal issued instructions to complete the works at the earliest. Dahal expressed dissatisfaction on the projects not performing their tasks efficiently. Prime Minister Dahal stated that the projects of the two road sections are milestone indicators and should complete within the scheduled time frame. The commission formed to investigate gold smuggling has recorded statements from 31 individuals so far. The commission has also been taking stock of major custom points of the country. The commission, led by former Judge of High Court Dilli Raj Acharya, has recorded statements from 29 individuals associated with the 60 kg and two other cases. The commission has also recorded statements from 9 Chinese nationals held in judicial custody in the case filed by the Central Investigation Bureau (CIB) of Nepal Police. The commission is holding discussions regarding arresting those who were missed out during the probe conducted by the CIB. However, no further arrests have been made so far. It has also deployed a team to take stock of custom points of districts bordering with India, including Banke, Rupandehi, Morang and Parsa. The commission has said that a report would be prepared after studying the security management in Rashwa and Sindhu-Palcho customs bordering with China. A group including Chinese nationals was seen involved in the case where gold concealed in brake shoes was smuggled into Nepal from Hong Kong. The CIB's investigation has shown that 300 kilograms of gold was smuggled in the period of 2 years. Sources at the Department of Customs have said that the toilets of the Trivandrum International Airport are also used to hide gold. The precious yellow metal was found hidden in the disabled-friendly toilets of the airport with the involvement of the officials of the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal. With the growing use of social media, the number of cyber crimes has also increased. The Central Cyber Bureau of Nepal Police has increasingly received cases of hacking, cyber financial irregularities, and posting of nude contents. Since mid-July last year, the Bureau has received 8,602 cases including harassment, defamation, extortion, and using fake accounts to coerce for sexual activities. In the past 2 weeks alone, the Bureau has received 150 cases of Facebook hacking. Complaints related to Facebook in the past 5 months stand at around 4,333. The Bureau has said using VPNs have compromised users' passwords in many cases. The number of complaints related to online fraud has also increased. Victims say hackers have been posting nude contents through their accounts and sending random messages to those on their friends list. Experts have called on the public to remain vigilant against cyber crimes. They have also urged users to avoid downloading unnecessary applications, accessing unnecessary websites, and talking to strangers. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what should be done to control cybercrime? Your options are A. Users themselves should be aware. B. Monitoring and punishment. C. Invest in technology. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. The country's oldest Trivandrum University celebrated its 49th convocation yesterday. More than 73,000 students have graduated from the university this year. However, the university is operating with acting officials, including the Vice Chancellor. Political gambits have rendered the university ineffective as the curriculum, exams and results often exceed academic calendar. The convocation program held at the capital's Dashrath Stadium yesterday was attended by 12,415 out of the 73,749 students who graduated this year. But the university, where 420,000 students are still studying, has failed to maintain its quality. Addressing the program, Prime Minister Dahal expressed commitment that the university will no longer have to be the victim of political share and that officials will be selected based on their qualifications. Meanwhile, apart from the mismanagement and degrading quality of education, the country also faces the challenge of retaining the youth population. Most classrooms at universities and colleges are usually empty. President Ramchandra Paudel urged everyone concerned to make the curriculum time relevant, practical and competitive. The Tribhuvan University currently caters to 82% of total students in higher education. But even well-qualified students have continued to leave the country. Meanwhile, the post of Vice-Chancellor has been vacant since 3rd of November last month. The government has formed a committee for fulfilling the vacancy. However, no progress has been made so far. This has been attributed to political power share. In our Public Voice segment, we've asked students at Tribhuvan University's convocation program what should be done to retain educated human resource in the productive sector. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
एउटा चाहिँ कलेजको तर्फबाट अर्को चाहिँ गभर्नमेन्टको तर्फबाट दुईटै तर्फबाट मिलेर आयो भने चाहिँ अनि बल्ल नेपालमै मान्छेहरुलाई रोजगार दिन मिल्ने वातावरण बन्छ।
साथी सर्कलहरु देखिरहेको छु जस्तो चाहिँ गरिरहेको छ 5-7 वर्ष गरिरहेको छ तर गर्दा गर्दै पनि उसले चाहिँ जति गर्नुपर्ने जति पाउनुपर्ने कुरा चाहिँ देशबाट नपाएर हार खाएरै बाहिर गइरहेको छ। नेपालमा अब सबैसँग पुँजी हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा पनि छैन नि त। अब त्यो अनुसारको हुनुपर्छ, त्यो चाहिँ व्यवस्थापन गर्नलाई चाहिँ सरकारले नै गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ।
कृषि गर्नलाई, पर्यटन गर्नलाई अनि हरेक कुरा यहाँनिर उद्योग धन्दाको कुराहरू भयो, त्यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो अलिकति सरकारी नीति चाहिँ राम्रो भइदिएको छैन।
अबको जेनेरेसन्सहरु चाहिँ लगभग सबै एजुकेटेडहरु हुन्छन्, त्यो एजुकेसन्सलाई चाहिँ नेपालमा कसरी त्यसलाई युटिलाइज गर्ने त भनेर गभर्नमेन्टले चाहिँ एकदम त्यो पिछडिएकै जस्तो चाहिँ भएको छ।
आफ्नो लोकल मार्केटमा जे चाहिँ प्रोडक्सन गर्न सकिन्छ, सम्भावित के छ हो त्यो वस्तुहरू पहिचान गरेर प्रोडक्सन गरेर एक्सपोर्ट गर्न सकेदेखि त नेपालमा पनि सम्भावना त छ नि।
ग्रान्ट र अनि रिसर्च प्लस एन्टरप्रेन्योरशिप सँगै भयो भने चाहिँ हामीलाई जे होस् यही बस्नलाई सजिलो हुन्थ्यो कि अनि यो हाम्रो युवाहरूलाई हैन एन्ट्री लेभल जब्सहरू पनि अलिकति क्रिएट गर्नुपर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ कि जस्तो एन्टरप्रेन्योरशिप फेलोशिपहरू।
हाम्रो शिक्षा प्रणालीहरूमा सबै नियमहरू सबै हाम्रो सुधारीकरण गर्नु पर्यो। माथिबाट जुन एजुकेसनलाई कम बजेट छुट्याएछ त्यो बजेटहरू बढाउनु पर्यो हैन। जुन हाम्रो यो भ्रष्टाचारहरू छ त्यो कुरालाई सबै एजुकेसन र शिक्षा दुईटा कुरामा चाहिँ भ्रष्टाचार एकदमै निर्मूल गरेर लाग्नु पर्यो के।
हाम्रोमा चाहिँ यस्तो तपाईहरुको 5 इयर्स 15 इयर्स एक्सपिरियन्स माग्छ जब खोज्न जाँदाखेरि पनि। अनि अब फ्रेश ग्रेजुएटले त त्यो एक्सपिरियन्स त हामीसँग त हुँदैन। अब हामीलाई अपर्च्युनिटी नदिकन त हामीले सब त्यो गेन गर्न सक्दैन नि त।
हाम्रो मेडिकल अफिसरको जुन दरबन्दी हुनु पर्यो एकदमै कम छ के। जुन अब हुनुपर्ने वर्षमा 2 वर्षमा एकचोटि खोल्नुहुन्छ त्यो पनि एकदम कम मात्रामा खोल्नुहुन्छ कि।
देशभित्रै बसेर केही गर्छु, आफूले पढेको कुरालाई चाहिँ यही नै केही युटिलाइज गर्छु भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ आफ्नो स्वयंदेखि नै आउनु पर्यो।
It is now time for the international news. At least 118 people have been killed and another 220 injured following an earthquake last night in northwest China. The 5.9 magnitude quake struck Gansu province around midnight, bringing down buildings there and in Qinghai province to the south. Emergency workers are braving freezing conditions to try and help people in the high altitude area. A second quake struck neighboring Xinjiang hours later this morning. The damage from that 5.5 magnitude strike was not immediately clear. Chinese President Xi Jinping has ordered full rescue efforts to Gansu, one of China's poorest regions. Gansu lies between the Tibetan and Loess plateaus and borders Mongolia. Last night's quake struck the Ningxia Hui Autonomous Prefecture, an administrative region for China's Muslim Hui people. The U.S. Geological Survey said it had a magnitude of 5.9 and depth of 10 kilometers. Footage showed rescuers searching through the rubble of collapsed buildings. Debris was also seen on the floors of rooms whose ceilings had partially collapsed. The government has dispatched teams of rescue workers to assist local emergency crews. In a statement, President Xi said all efforts should be made to carry out search and rescue, treat the injured in a timely manner, and minimize casualties. State media agency Xinhua reported this morning that 105 people had been killed and 96 injured in Gansu, while 13 were killed and 124 injured in Shanghai. Power and water supplies have also been disrupted in parts of the region. China sits in a region where a number of tectonic plates, notably the Eurasian, Indian and Pacific plates, meet and is particularly prone to earthquakes. Last September, more than 60 people were killed when a 6.6 magnitude quake hit the southwestern Sichuan province. A 1920 earthquake in Gansu, which killed more than 200,000 people, is also recorded as one of the world's deadliest in the 20th century. Hamas says it remains open to any suggestions for a prisoner swap with Israel, but no talks will be held until Israeli bombardment of Gaza stops. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced the launch of a multinational operation, Prosperity Guardian, in response to attacks by Yemen's Houthis in the Red Sea. Medical sources have said that Israeli forces attacked the Al-Ali Arab Hospital in Gaza City amid renewed attacks on health facilities in the enclave. Several casualties were reported after Israeli warplanes attacked two residential homes in the Nusayrat and Deir el-Bala refugee camps in the central Gaza Strip. The Qassam brigades, the armed wing of Hamas, shared a video of 3 elderly Israeli captives pleading for their release. The UN Security Council is expected to vote on a new resolution today after the use of the term cessation of hostilities emerged as a sticking point. At least 19,453 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli attacks since 7th of October. The revised death toll in Israel stands at nearly 1,140. World Health Organization WHO representative Richard Peppercorns yesterday said that Gaza's Kamal Adwan hospital was not functional anymore. The WHO was gathering information at the hospital where Gazan authorities said Israeli forces used a bulldozer to smash through the perimeter of a site Israel has said was used by Hamas fighters. The group which governs Gaza has denied using the Kamal Adwan or any other hospital for militant activities. Peppercorn, WHO's Gaza representative, said that losing any hospitals could not be afforded, adding that the hospital issue also impacted internally displaced people who were on hospital grounds. Israel has also said Al-Shifa, which it had occupied earlier in the war, had been used by Hamas. The official death toll from the explosion at an oil terminal in Guinea's capital, Conakry, yesterday rose to at least 13, with 178 injured as firefighters worked through the afternoon to fully extinguish the blaze. The blast at the West African nation's main oil terminal rocked the Kaloum administrative district in downtown Conakry early in the morning, blowing out the windows of nearby homes and forcing hundreds to flee. The government said 89 of the injured were able to return home after treatment. The extent of the damage to the terminal remains unclear. Guinea is not an oil producer and has no refining capacity. It imports refined products, mostly stored in the Kaloum terminal and distributed via trucks across the country. The government said an investigation will be launched to determine what caused the incident and any parties responsible. Concerns over a potential fuel shortage prompted residents in the town of Mamou, around 260 kilometers from Conakry, to besiege gas stations as black market prices soared. Iceland's meteorological office said a volcano in the southwest region of the country erupted yesterday following weeks of intense earthquake activities. Fearing a significant outbreak of Reykjanes Peninsula, authorities had evacuated the nearly 4,000 inhabitants of the fishing town of Grindavik and closed the nearby Blue Lagoon geothermal spa. Reykjanes is a volcanic and seismic hotspot southwest of the capital, Reykjavik. In March 2021, lava fountains erupted spectacularly from a 500-750-meter-long fissure in the ground in the Fagradalsfjall volcanic system. Actor Jonathan Majors, a rising Hollywood star who had been set to play the leading role in an upcoming Marvel superhero film, was found guilty by a New York jury on charges he attacked his ex-girlfriend in the back of a car. Shortly after the verdict, a spokesperson for Walt Disney-owned Marvel said the studio had dropped the actor from future projects. Majors portrayed a villain known as Kang the Conqueror in this year's Ant-Man movie and was scheduled to play the lead role in 2026 release Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Majors had been charged with 2 counts of assault and 2 counts of harassment, all misdemeanors. The jury of 6 convicted him on 1 count of assault and 1 count of harassment and acquitted him of the other charges. The verdict followed a 2-week trial in state court in Manhattan. Majors, dressed in a grey suit, stood and faced the jury as the foreperson read the verdict. He pursed his lips and cast his face down when the first conviction was read about, otherwise showed little reaction. Majors is set to be sentenced on February 6. He faces up to a year in prison, but prosecutors have not indicated what sentence they plan to seek. His lawyer did not immediately respond to a request for comment as well. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office held the verdict in a statement, saying the evidence showed a cycle of psychological and emotional abuse and escalating patterns of coercion by Majors.
Sports News.
2 matches of the Nepal Super League are slated for today. In the first match of the day, which will kick off at 1 p.m. this afternoon, Sporting Ilam FC will play Lalitpur City FC. Ilam, debutants at the league, have already crashed out from the playoff race. Having played 7 matches, Ilam have only 5 points and are placed at the bottom of the table. A defeat today will see the side coached by Meghraj KC finish the tournament at the same position. Meanwhile, Lalitpur are unbeaten at the tournament but are still under pressure to win a match today to earn their place in the playoffs. With 2 wins and 4 draws from 6 matches, Lalitpur are placed 3rd with 10 points. In another match slated for today, Butul Lumbini FC take on Pokhara Thunders. The match, which will be kicking off at 5 p.m. will also be played at the Dashrath Stadium in Tripureshwar, Kathmandu. So that is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin is at 6 p.m. Thank you for staying with us. Have a beautiful day ahead.